Rayburn Johnson for Sample Library Review, and today I'm checking out the new update for Alt Piano by Westwood Instruments. Alt Piano delivers an old upright piano from the 1960s with numerous textural layers, presets, mic positions, and character. Now housed in the Evergreen engine and running in the free Kontakt Player, the Alt Piano update offers a lot of flexibility and piano goodness in a rather inexpensive package. Alt Piano runs in the free Kontakt Player and is NKS compatible. It has a download size of 3.7 gigabytes and includes 4 microphone positions, 11 textures, and over 40 presets. Alt Piano is available from Westwood Instruments for $59, but at time of review was available for the introductory price of $35. There's also a free light edition available on the Westwood Instruments website so that you can try it out. Today we're checking out the new Alt Piano update from Westwood Instruments. So this is a remake of the original Alt Piano by Westwood Instruments, but this time brought to us in Westwood's new Evergreen engine, which they're using for all of their instruments going forward in 2023, and in the Kontakt Player with a whole lot of new textures and different features. We'll get a little bit more into the engine in a few minutes and the different textures and presets, but I'm going to go ahead and just, starting with the natural piano, I'm just going to play a little bit so you can kind of hear what's going on, and then we'll explore some of the presets and sounds together. That's just the natural piano sound for you. You can see there's just a whole lot of textures that you can add, which those of you who might have experienced Alt Piano originally will be familiar with some of these textures, but a lot of these have been added that can just serve as a really good, cool, underpinning for the piano sound and even as pad sounds itself. Let's actually just keep going through some of the presets here. Let's go to the felt piano. So one thing you'll notice here is the felt control. You can actually dial in any preset. You can dial in the natural samples simply by pulling this down, and going all the way up will dial in the felt samples. So we're just going to do that all the way up. Really beautiful felt sound. This is just a really characterful, filled with character upright piano. It's not a pristine, grand piano. It's not a Steinway Model D. This is an old upright piano that so many of us grew up taking piano lessons on, but it's recorded really well. You've got 4 different mic positions. You've got a close, a room, a rear, and an ambient mic, which was actually recorded in a different room. But in addition to that, you can also dial in the microphone sound of the keys, of the strings, of the pedal noise, just a lot going on here. And obviously with the pianist, you can also dial in some of that, ambient noise with the movement of the pianist and, kind of put you in the room with someone playing. Let's actually go to the piano mixes. This one is called A Vintage Year. And then we have As Real as It Gets. Hear a whole lot of pianist noise here. You can hear that that's really turned up just when I play a chord. You can hear that background noise, really cool. Better Call John. So it looks like this one is all natural, no texture, just straight up piano. Good amount of reverb. We've got a vintage reverb going on here. Let's see what this one's about. Very detuned, very detuned. Huxley. Rob's Felt Mix. So this is Rob from Westwood Instruments, and this is his preferred felt mix. So let's see what we've got going on here. Lot of pianist noise in there, a little bit more than I prefer personally. Let's actually take some of that down and see what we have. Go just a little bit more. All right, and then we have Rob's natural mix. So once again, you can see that the felt control has been pulled down, so now we're just hearing the pure piano samples. All right, and let's see, shifted felt. Let's try that one. So this one is all felt, and we have some texture in here. I'm not seeing which of these textures has been selected. So that's interesting. I'm not sure if maybe there's not one turned on, it's just the dial is up. Let's see. Ooh, super soft and lovely. Let's check that out. So soft. Very fragile sounding. And shifted? Really nice. All right, let's jump down to some of the textures. Now, these are just going to be using the textures that were created from the piano samples. So these are actual, samples derived from the piano recordings themselves, but manipulated through all sorts of different gear and, effects and all sorts of things to give you some really cool pad sounds that you can use as ambient layers beneath your piano or just on their own as pads. So let's start with air here. Really lovely. And arbor? That's really nice. And ash? It's a really neat under kind of like, I could see those once again. I like scoring documentaries, and these are the kinds of sounds that are just perfect for those emotional kind of transitions. Just really, really cool ambient layers that you can build on with piano, with acoustic guitar, just really cool beds. This one's called Drift, so I'm imagining that we're going to get some modulation in pitch here. So let's see what we've got. Really, really cool. All right, I'm going to jump down and let's go to the texture blends to actually kind of give you some sounds where we have multiple textures layered together. Now you can do this really easily simply by, you can click on the texture that you want, and if you want to add one to it, you can just hold down Shift and click another. And you can unselect them the same way. So really, really easy to use. All right, let's go into one of these. This one has the texture hearth and texture arbor. That's lovely. Oh, I like how those are layered. That's really nice. Ooh, this is all of them. The name of the preset says it all. It's all of the textures blended together. Really cool when you hold down the sustain like that. Bad signal. Oh, you can get some just wonderfully melancholic sounds out of this library. And that's honestly my favorite, my favorite genre, my favorite, sound selection are just those ones that have that melancholic vibe to them. All right. Let's jump down to Epilogue and do one more of the texture blends. This one has Texture Highway with Texture Resin. Really, really cool. All right, so now comes the fun part. This is where you combine the pianos with the textures, which is really, in my opinion, probably the best use of blending these together. So we're going to start with Deep Connection, which blends Texture Earth with piano, and it looks like we've got just the pure piano going here. I don't see the texture blended in. I'm going to look and see. Yeah, just a little bit blended in there. Interesting. So it's almost better to hold chords when you have these textures, something like this. And if you want to introduce more of the texture, just pull it up. Really cool. And Drifted. So this one has the felt piano going. And that one just uses the close mic. So if we wanted to blend in the mics, we can do that. So maybe we want to add some ambience to that. So we're going to put the ambient mic in there. I'm going to really pull that up. I'm going to go down with the close, and we're going to get more of a spacious sound that way. Really, really nice. And obviously, if we wanted to add, the room in, I'm going to go ahead and just put the piano on so you can hear. Let's blend just to make our own sound, just for fun. Actually, you know what? Let's go back to the natural piano. I'm going to actually blend in a little of the felt. We're going to add some ambience, quite a bit of ambience there. I'm going to bring the rear mic in. I'm going to bring the close one down a little bit. I'll turn the pianist on, but I'm going to turn that just to make it kind of subtle. And then for our reverb, instead of a studio reverb, let's put a hall on there. And let's just see what kind of sound we get just by blending in a little bit of the felt with the natural piano. And if we really wanted to bring the felt in there, let's say we wanted to make it majority felt with just a little clean. Let's take the texture completely down. I'm going to make the close mic a little more prominent, pull back on the ambient mic a little bit, pull back on the room a little bit. We're going to go to the second set of mics for the strings, the keys, and the pedal. And I really want the keys to kind of be prominent here. So I'm going to pull that back and let's see what we have. Really nice. And if we wanted to go to the felt piano, actually, we go back there. And maybe conversely, let's blend in a little natural samples. Bring the textures down again. We're just making our own sound here. Bring the pianist back in, but just a little bit. And I want to add some ambient mic here. And once again, I'm going to make those keys prominent. Pedal noise is fine. I'm going to take the string noise down some. Oops. And let's give that a whirl. Actually, you know what? Let's go this time. Let's try this horizon reverb and see what we have there. like I messed up the placement a little bit of the video window there. So pulling that back down so you can see it a little bit better. Sorry about that. And let's see, let's just go down to pianos and textures again. Let's jump down to no shortcuts and see what that gives us. Really, really cool. And with the experimental folder, let's just try a couple of these. Oh, that one really popped loudly. Let's try a couple of these and see what we get. And from what I remember, a lot of drift going on there. And how about I felt it from far away? And obviously, felt, and you got it all felt here. I like that. I felt it from far away. A very quiet one, that, for sure. So you can see you've got 6 different categories of sounds: default pianos, piano mixes, textures, texture blends, pianos, textures, experimental. I'm going to go back for just a moment to the felt piano, and I just want to show you a little bit more about the engine before we close out the review. Obviously, once again, you've got your piano samples here controlled by the felt and natural control. You've got all of these different textures. What is that? 6, 5, so 11 different textures that can easily be combined with the piano samples. Using this texture control, you can control that. You can introduce your pianist samples that will, introduce movement and sound from the player. You've got your 4 different microphone positions. You've got the 3 different mic positions for pedal, string, and keys. You've got a number of different reverbs you can select from. And then, in addition to all of that, you have an effects page. I should show you this really quickly. This is a really cool idea. This trans-pitch control is very unique and something I've not seen other sample developers doing. This one, what it does is it actually shifts the samples down. It pitch shifts them, and then it transposes them back up. So it allows you to get kind of a darker character. You're in the exact same key, but because you're using different samples that have been pitched down and then transposed back up, you get kind of just the same, it's the same notes, but with a darker tone. Let me actually just show you that. So I'm just going to play an A minor here. And then if I do 2, so that just really is a cool control that allows you to get a really moody kind of just super character-filled sound. I love that. Super control. You've obviously got your EQ here. The piano front, you can actually, this is for, just like with an upright piano, how you can take the front off of it. This allows you to simulate that, taking the front of it off or leaving it on. You've got your noise level. your untune. You've got a delay here with a number of different delays. So actually, let's just go kind of midway through here. And I want to play with a little bit of the delay and see what we get here. Let's see. Let's try something like a flutter. That's just a tad bit of a flutter. So let's do something that's a little bit more, a little bit more filled with delay so you can actually get a really good feel for what that would be like. Let's try Frontier. Let's see what that gives us. So that's so big that it actually simulates a reverb. So let me go back to the analog delay here. Let's do our own. Maybe something, let's see, let's put this on an eighth note. We're going to mix it in a good amount. Ooh, now that's interesting. We're introducing some, let's see, that's some untuning. What am I missing there? That's kind of crazy. Huh. So it's got a kind of a decay feel to it. Let's try this tape delay. Really, really cool. So you can see that's your delay control. You've got your width control, obviously, that allows you to turn it from mono to super stereo, your reverb with several different presets. And over here, you actually have an easy way to purge all of the samples that you're not using. So if you want to purge your different mics, you can change the velocity sensitivity. You can turn on or off the key switches. So just a whole lot of features here in the Evergreen engine. This is a really, really cool library. I'm actually really impressed that they have done such a cool update to Alt Piano, and the fact that they've put it into the free Kontakt Player and kept it as an inexpensive library, but given you all of this kind of feature-rich control with tons of different presets, lots of textures that you can layer underneath the piano samples. I think it's just a really good value for what you get here with a piano that's got just a ton of character. So with that said, I'm going to once again, I want to go back to the felt. I'm just kind of resetting it there. And we'll just play one last little tune and we'll call it a review. Thanks for checking out Alt Piano with me today. So what do you think? Is this a library that you can see using in your own music? Comment below and share your thoughts. Please like the video and share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure to check out samplelibraryreview.com for more news and reviews, and stay in the know about weekly sales via our weekly deal compressor.